What's up, my beautiful black people? How is everybody today? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Blackwell Project's weekly roundtable discussion. This week we're going to talk about something that's a little bittersweet. This week we're going to be talking about celebrating the life of a wealth icon, Miss Emma Chappell. Again, celebrating the life of a black wealth icon, Miss Emma Chappell. And she's done a lot of great things, but she recently just passed this week at the ripe old age of 80 years old. And she's done more work than probably 100 people put together. So we definitely had to take the time and just really reflect on her life and then think about some of the things that we can take from her life and then implement it in what we're doing going forward. So it's just me and Corey right now. I think everybody out enjoying the spring weather, and I'm sure they'll start to trickle in. I think David Ruffin's here. Oh, there he is. He's back. He's back. What's going on, Corey? What's going on, Malik?
Man, chilling. Everything good, man. Jim will be here in a few minutes.
I was parking. I needed both hands to park the car. I got the minivan, so and I only got my mirror, so I can't see the.
The minivan and one mirror, though.
So, for those of y'all who don't know, Malik is the latest internet sensation, social media sensation, because he let the world know that his minivan doesn't have a mirror. And a lot of people clowning because he said he don't need a foreign, as all this started. So now he is milking this thing to death, and I'm loving every bit of it.
Every second.
It's hilarious. But
because it's weird because Malik, he a humble dude, like, because he really be out here getting to it, and then folks that don't even, have nearly the stature or have done nothing, it's clowning. Like you clowning somebody who you trying to be like. You need to get where he at. And so, do your thing, man. Like, these people funny, man. Like, and because you don't stick it in their face, like, people want you to do things and just stick it in their face, and that's weird. Like, no, I don't need you to stick everything that you've done in my face. But a lot of people like that.
Everybody want to do it for the gram these days. Whether it's giving gifts, and this ain't no shade. You can do what you want, but I think it's kind of corny when you put somebody down just because they don't show their whole life on the gram or whatever social media you're on.
Yeah, no, but it's uncomfortable really with me. I like to be low key, man. I don't want to, be out and it's people know who I am from social media before I even you the boy. Like, that's a different feeling, and I really don't like it. I mean, imagine if I was a celebrity out here. I don't know why, other than the money, like, why would you even be here? I'll be like a recluse, I'll be a hermit if I was like a celebrity. So I would never come out in public, because with this little bit people know who I am, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but now you can leverage it for more business, right? More people know that you're a realtor. More people know that you're an investor. So you can get some more realtor clients. You can possibly get some more investor clients. I mean, just use it for what you want to use it for. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing without trying to get all caught up in the hype. But I know we're also older. And so I think the fact that we came up during a time where you actually had to mean what you say and say what you mean, things are a little bit different than now. And that ain't no shade on you.
You know what? The streets is watching.
They are.
Yeah, they is. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you gotta be.
It's wolves and coyotes in these streets, man. You gotta be real careful out here, man. It's wolves and coyotes out here, and I got a family with small children. I know Malik does too, so I ain't for that. Nah,
yeah, man. I totally get it. But hey, man, just don't show your address. Make sure not to show your tag on your vehicle with the broken mirror that everybody's done identified.
Man, let's
because
tell you what, everybody like being in this business and knowing the data that I can find, I'm very accessible. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if my stuff is in LLC. It doesn't matter if it's in my name. Like some of the software that I used to use, I could look up with just using your name and the city. I could pull up the last 3 places your car was. Everything. Just your full name and the city. That's all I need to notify everything about your neighbors, your relatives, where you work, everything. So
So what you got, like some enemy of the state type software?
no, man, it's
It's
just mainly
basic.
due.
That's
It's all the data we put out here. Like everything we use is digital footprint, and a lot of the stuff like with the pictures, people don't realize this. The one taking a picture of your tag are the tow trucks, and they share that data when it's time to repo, right? And so they put all that data up, and they also get the data from the pictures from the toll booths and anywhere else to take pictures of your plates. They all put that data in, and you could buy it. You could buy that data. Everything.
That I didn't know.
Yeah,
oh
and the
yeah.
thing is, I'm a realtor and I could get it. And so imagine what law enforcement has. They got something super powerful. If just a realtor can get that data, law enforcement, they man, I don't know. I don't even know why you commit crimes in this day and time. But the point is, anybody can find anybody. I'm telling you, no, your relatives, your phone number, um, you get your neighbors, where you work at. You have a gun license, a driver's license, a boat license, bankruptcies, everything. I can put everything about you.
Wow, that's crazy.
Even
That's crazy.
your old addresses I could pull up.
Yeah, that's why they tell you to wipe your old addresses off your credit report soon as you get a chance.
I didn't know
That's
that.
one.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that's one of the things when I was getting my credit redone. The first time I got my credit redone, the first thing they told me is to wipe all your old addresses.
Okay. Now that's something to look into. Now y'all got me scared. But
Nah,
Yeah,
it's not nothing to be scared about. It's just everybody creating the same footprint. So it's not like you unique in creating this footprint. So somebody really got to be on your top to really want to, do all of the.
I mean, but listen, we live in a crazy time. I mean, there's always been crazy people, but now people will literally show up to your doorstep just on some shenanigans. There's a lot of crimes that are committed and murders that are committed over social media beef. So, that's crazy.
those two 15-year-olds in West Philly 2 weeks ago, it got killed over Instagram beef, and it wasn't even their beef.
Mm. All right, Jimmy's here. Jimmy, you might get into that. David Ruffin.
We can officially start now. I'm in the building.
No, down here, so we already started without you.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Down here. All right, we good. We good.
Don
Then.
B,
We good.
yeah.
Oh, y'all, I come in. Y'all talking about social media beef? Like, who beefing with somebody on social media, man?
Nah, we just talking about Malik being a celebrity out here and him protecting his neck, and then it kind of would dovetail into
Listen, man, Malik got his shots and he don't know how to act, bro. My man be in the streets. Like, he got that Moderna and now he got to control, man.
You're supposed to wait 2 weeks before you really get it.
Man, he got
though,
that
right?
first shot. He was done, bro. He got the first shot. He was out there already, bro.
You got to get the second shot and wait 2 weeks.
No,
You out
ain't about
the first shot give you a level of protection, not the full thing, but that gives you a level of protection.
All right, man. You listen like the kids in my school, man. You don't listen. You listen terribly.
Malik got his
You're
first shot.
supposed to get both shots and wait 2 weeks.
Right, to be fully protected. That is correct. I agree.
You doing the most, man.
My guy got his shot and he waited 15 minutes, and after that he was out here, man. He out here looking at crib.
Listen, go get some sunshine. I ain't telling you not to go get no sunshine, dog. But damn, like don't be out here doing the willy nilly and end up in the hospital with the bullshit.
This is where the uncomfortable part comes in. This is my new future, right? The day of the handshake is dead, right? And so I met a client and her father, and I didn't even consider putting my hand out for a handshake. It's like, and it's just different, right? We're trained that how to be respectful, how to be business, firm handshake.
Man,
and now you go from firm handshake, look in the eye, to just not even no handshake. And so I gotta get used to or they gotta get used to me because I'm not shaking hands.
Bro,
All right, well, hold on, y'all.
The best you getting is elbow deck.
Hold on, y'all. Let's before we get too deep into this, let's check in with our folks because we definitely are off script right now, but it's all good. It's all good. Hey, Rochelle, how you doing?
Rochelle, what's goody?
You're
all right. Felicia, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Elizabeth. What's up, Elizabeth?
In the building.
Elizabeth, thank you for coming out and supporting me and Courtney the other day. Appreciate you. What's up, Don Johnson? What? What's good, brother?
You're
Adrian, how are you?
I'm here, so we good, Adrian. I'm here.
It's all about Jimmy, the new David Ruffin.
Listen, I can't,
I don't know. Do we want to call him the new David Ruffin or the new Bobby Womack?
No, Bobby Womack's a foul dude. Don't call me him.
We're not calling Joe Bobby.
He's a foul dude. He broke all sorts of man codes, man. He's a foul brother, man.
Yeah.
What's up, Jose?
And for y'all don't know what I'm talking about.
All right, now we'll keep the temptations going, right? So you Dennis Edwards now.
At least I ain't Otis, man. This don't make me Otis, man.
I'll be Otis. Otis was the man.
Nobody coming to see you, Otis.
I'm cool with that. All right, Elizabeth says the crazy part about social media cloud is it's really all about show. Even if you're trash at it or it even really successful, I believe in keeping my head low and grinding. But in this day and age, if people don't see you are famous on social, they're not really doing anything. People are big about being known now, but not so much. So Elizabeth, I agree and disagree all at the same time. I get your point though, and your point's super valid, right? So I'm not even trying to argue the point, but I do think you can still do business without social. I do think social can make it either harder or easier, whichever way. But listen, business is always still going to be done. Business is always going to be about relationships. So if you can make relationships, whether in IRL, in real life, or on social, that's going to be the thing, in my opinion. What do y'all think about that?
I think that Dennis Edwards has one of the greatest videos ever, and look no further. I
give you props, Joe.
No, I'm just saying. I just want to put that out there. When you said Dennis Edwards, I was like, damn, that video is hilariously amazing.
Since you wanted to go sideways, who's the lady singing that song in that video?
In that video, who's the lady singing the song in the video?
R&BG.
Come on, man. You know I'm an R&B legend. I gotta think about it.
Saida Garrett. Too late. Too long.
Who is it?
Saida Garrett.
Oh, I didn't know that anyway. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't know that. So
all right.
I was thinking of the visuals. I'm like,
sorry.
I think that social media, if you get everything right in life, social media makes your job easier. If you do one wrong thing, if you do one, and if somebody hear about a wrong thing you did from 30 years ago, social media also can ruin really everything. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm surprised Nate Parker, was making movies still, because he was out of here, for a minute.
I think that social media is a microcosm of IRL, to use Kamari's term. That's one of the nerd terms that people used to use on Google Plus. Let's meet up IRL. But anyway, to use that term though, I think it's a microcosm of IRL, and it's the same. Everything's the same. The whole idea of the cancel culture to me is laughable because no one's really canceled. Like people take heat, but it's so much stuff happens these days that after a couple of days, like if you could just like those couple of days is tough, but after those couple of days, like because everybody loves a comeback story anyway. So
it depends. It really depends.
That's not true.
I mean, it depends on the crime. If you are Kelly, it's a little different. You sitting behind a can, but like,
where's Columbus Short? Where's Ray Rice? Bill
Ray Rice did that to himself, though.
Ray Rice got another opportunity. He just stopped.
He was bad at football. He didn't. He wasn't
good anymore. He got an opportunity. He was in the league. He just wasn't good anymore. So the thing is. And even Columbus Short was in movies and things after that. Like, so it's just a matter of maintaining.
He really did nothing notable though, and Columbus has talent. So, to Malik's point, Columbus is out of here for his whatever happened on Scandal. Even the guy Jason Mitchell, I think from The Shot. I mean, he's kind of sitting on the cancel culture.
And all he did was flirt with the girl. Goodness, he didn't even touch nobody.
I mean, that depends upon whose story you believe. But I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you can weather the storm of that you can still work. You can
No,
still work.
listen,
Like,
the
folks are
one
still
that
working,
really
man.
got canceled is the one who did the show for Donald Trump. She ain't do nothing wrong. She went and took a check.
Chrisette Michelle.
Chrisette Michelle,
Oh,
she
Oh
got
yeah,
she
now
got
that was
punched.
corny. That was definitely corny.
She got
Yeah.
punched.
She
But
bodied
my thing is, she
bodied
didn't
Aston
know
Martin
that.
music. So I just want to give her
Huh?
credit for that. I said she bodied Aston Martin music, so I just want to give her props for
Hey,
that.
listen, she bodied a lot of dope songs. She bodied the joint with her and Jay-Z. Lost Ones.
Although in retrospect, I think Drake might have bodied her in that song. That might be the only song where somebody bodies the rapper and the singer, and it's the same person that bodied both of them.
All right, we are
I'm sorry.
all over the place.
My fault. But I did want to make this comment real quick, Kamari, before we move forward, because
All right.
Malik was talking about like meeting, being around folks in real life. So yesterday I was met with some like black real estate developers, and it was just crazy. We're looking at these properties, and we're all like 15 feet apart from each other, and we meet up as a group to like look about projects we're talking about buying. We're not shaking hands. We like this. Everybody giving each other the what's going on, and we're like so far apart. It's absolutely insane. But I think that might be the new normal. Like we're all in the same space, but it's like we might as well not be. We you know what I mean? If we could have did this via Zoom, we probably would have been even closer as we are in person. So speaking of being out in the
All right.
streets,
All hail the queen.
Oh, look at Sunday Fine. There's a Sunday
sharp.
Fine.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi guys.
Tracy
Hey,
like
hey.
late for a council meeting. She out here shouting on y'all.
Yeah. She got
All
the
right.
Sunday. That's all.
So hold on, since this whole show is totally off board right now, right? Remember, today's show is about celebrating a Black wealth icon, Emma Chappell. So tune in. We're definitely going to get to that. But Tracy, I know you do your best work while you're driving. So do you have anything you want to get off your chest now?
Off the top of my head, I'm gonna say no, but I'm just kind of floating into the conversation, so I'm gonna keep floating until I have a thought.
You got it.
Monica said she out here looking like a deaconess.
Thanks,
Oh, man.
Monica.
Hey, Monica.
Sorry, y'all. This was a work day for me, and I had a bunch of stuff going on, so I ain't mean to be
No.
all dressed up for y'all. But
Yeah, come in, make us we looking. That's
welcome
the
to the
poor out here, man. We all the poor now.
Go get that chicken. I ain't mad at you at all.
Yeah, go get that. Yeah, get that check.
Yeah. All right. So real quick, as we move along, right, we want to do our BOB of the week. And so our BOB of the week is something I'm actually very proud of. They had a grand opening this week here in Philadelphia. Our BOB of the week is Down North. Now, you all may have not have heard of Down North. You might not be able to put together the name, but Down North is a pizzeria. It's a Black-owned pizzeria in North Philly. We call it Down North, not North, but NRF sometimes, or NURTH, Down North. And so, but it's some good brothers down there doing some work. And Corey reminded me that our fellow Black Wealth Project family, Nairobi, this is her brother, I believe.
Yep.
I think Courtney and Jimmy interviewed her. I know I listened to that episode. I listened to most of them. So this is dope. I know part of their mission is to help returning citizens, our brothers and sisters behind the wall, when they come back home, get good jobs, get training. And from what I hear, the food is fire. I didn't get a chance to make it out.
You gotta check the names of the pizzas, bro.
Yeah, well, I heard they sold out because my homegirl works with them. So
No. I'm talking about the names.
No, I got it. It's on the screen. It's on the screen, Jimmy.
Okay. No, I got you.
Yep. So you know I'm all about this uptown vibe. So I definitely got to check that out. No Better Love, Big Head. Yeah, that's us. Oh, that's an E. That's an EA. So for y'all,
Yes, all day.
All of them are songs from Philly rappers, bro. That's what I was trying to get you to see.
Rock the mic.
So what's uptown vibe? That's not a song.
That's Meek Mill.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, I guess I'm slipping. Okay.
This is
PSK.
yeah.
Flip side.
Big Head is a Miss Jade song.
Oh, okay.
I'm a boss. That's another
That's
Meek
Meek.
song.
Yeah.
See, this is what I was trying to show you, brother.
All right. Well, next time show up early, Dennis Edwards.
but you know what though, man. I've had the pizza twice. Pizza is amazing. Fortunately, I actually get VIP treatment down there because my mom was actually his very first catering client.
Nice.
Gangster.
As a matter of fact, can I go off topic a little bit more, Kamar? If you don't mind, could you show
Go
my
ahead.
mom real quick? Could I show my mom here on my page?
On what page?
Yeah. Oh, Malik's mom is out
His
here.
mom was in the Philly
Yo,
Inquirer.
Yeah,
his
she
mom
was
is
in
out here.
WHYY.
She was in the Inquirer?
Hold on,
Yeah,
not just the Inquirer. She was in the Tribune. She was on.
she was on the cover of the
listen,
Tribune. On the cover of
cover
the
of the
Tribune.
Tribune. She
Yeah,
tycooning
man.
this past week. His mom has been tycooning. She saw him on a John and was like, "I'm about to one up you."
Yeah.
She went crazy.
That
Yeah,
healthy competition.
Yeah,
That's
she's
the
stunning.
healthy
She's
competition.
stunning on Malik.
Oh man, y'all just throwing last minute stuff. So listen, y'all, for y'all watching, I do a lot of the production and engineering behind the scenes. So now when they throw stuff at me last minute, it takes me a little while to readjust. So just give me a minute for
But
it.
listen, Kamari, you do an excellent
We are
job.
driving Kamari crazy right now. Y'all have no idea how crazy we drive.
Yeah.
And at this point,
See,
it's become comical to me. So
Hey, listen, I blame Tracy and Courtney because when they are around, we're more organized. I just put it out there.
What?
yeah.
Listen, when Tracy and Courtney in the building, our shows are way more organized. They run a lot smoother. So that's it. When it's us four, we all over the place.
not just that, it's a lot of stuff going on, and I had forgot about that. But your mom has been on like 18 different covers. Like she's out here cooking. She made you look bad after you got your shine. She was like, "Watch this."
Yeah,
Watch this. Shout out to your mom, Malik. She is an awesome lady.
I appreciate it.
All right, well listen, we always gotta pick up mom. So that's a no-brainer.
That's the rules of the game.
Exactly.
So for those that don't know, why she's pulling up, my mom, she does own a clothing store, clothing and accessories at 38th and Lancaster. I think it's 3840. 3840, I mean, Lancaster Avenue, 3840. It's called a Part of Me. You could definitely follow her on Instagram at A Part of Me. She has some nice wares, some nice goods in there. And
So is it on the side where the pizza store at, or is it on the other side on Lancaster?
It's on the same side as where United Bank used to be.
Okay, I know what you're talking. I know where it's at.
All right, so there's Malik's mom. Yo, that jacket is fire.
Fire.
Hey,
She's rocking that.
Yeah.
I love it. Those shoes. Look at the shoes.
Yeah, right.
It's gotta be the shoes, right? It's gotta be the shoes.
Get it, mom.
Go.
So, now, Malik,
killing it.
what's the address again, and what does mom sell?
So she has clothing, purses, jewelry, hats. She has some art in there, and my mom, she actually she repurposes furniture. So she'll get some antique furniture, she'll reupholster it, make it up. Right here.
Oh man,
right there.
Yo, that's nice.
That's nice as hell.
And that looks like a West African print, if I'm correct, Malik. Is that a West African print?
She bought the fabric and had it done. She didn't just physically do it. She just designs it, the finished look.
Nice.
That's dope.
So
That's
now
dope.
she does physically do dressers and chests. She does physically do those.
Nice.
That's dope.
Nice.
That's dope. All right, so the page is A Better Part of Me Boutique. Again,
a part of me.
A part of me.
A part of me. What did I say?
A better part of me.
I'm sorry.
Add words.
Yeah.
There you go. Right there. Move up. You just had the address right there.
So A Better.
Yeah,
38. A Part of Me. A Part of Me Boutique.
Yeah, slide up.
Come on, scroll
right there.
Yeah, just the phone number and the address.
Yep. So phone number is 215-662-0707. And address is 3834 Lancaster Avenue. So that's in Philadelphia, West Philly. Some people might call it University City, but you can definitely check that out. A Part of Me Boutique. Everybody go follow Malik's mom on IG. Do that right now. Help us out.
I appreciate that. And Kamar, before you leave, could you scroll up a little bit more, please?
There's nowhere else to scroll, Malik.
Well, scroll down.
What are we looking for?
I'm trying to think of the square. It is. Keep going. Oh, right there. That other chair that she made.
This one right here?
Yeah, she made that one too. Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
That's dope.
That's a dope chair. That's awesome.
A part of me, y'all. A part of me.
That would look good in your house, Tracy.
Clearly. Maybe in the sitting area.
Yo, Y'all rich Negroes. She out here selling furniture on the show. She like, yeah, the sitting. Put that in the sitting area.
That's what it
Hey
is. It's a
Jimmy,
sitting chair.
what's your favorite saying? You love when rich black folks spend money?
I love it. I love you. I love rich black people, man. I love it, yo.
Yeah, man.
I absolutely love it, yo. You have no idea the joy I get.
Right.
Yeah,
The
but
culture
the point
swag.
we brought her. We do want to bring it back to down north. Like I said, my mom was his very first catering client, and she
Right.
really helped him out to get his business started. And she helped him actually get into. He was a chef for a while. She got him into
Was he the chef up north?
Booker.
My fault. No, I'm
No, she
sorry.
got him in Booker. He was in Booker's for a while. She got him in there too.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Shout out to
right.
Chef Kurt. Shout out to him. He's awesome. He definitely did a whole series on what was it? Incarcerated people, bringing awareness, and did a lot of foods and stuff curated by items that they would eat and make in jail to bring awareness to incarcerated citizens.
I just
So
think it's amazing tying in like business and still having that social piece to it. It's proof that it does work. But some
yeah,
folks don't believe that. Some folks like, no, you got to just get money, and But no, you can do both. You can make an impact and make income.
correct.
Well,
And the thing is,
what many people don't realize is that every other community, their business and their social agendas and their political agendas are all in alignment. So we just a little late to the party, but we can do that as well. But listen, as we move forward, y'all remember today's show is all about celebrating the life of a Black wealth icon, Miss Emma Chappell. Now,
Man, we talking about black businesses, so that's definitely celebrating her life.
absolutely, absolutely. So recently she passed. Now, for many of y'all, I know everybody is not from Philly here, right? So Emma Chappell is the founder of United Bank. It's a Black-owned bank, and it's actually funny that many people in Philadelphia still to this day don't know that there's a Black bank in this city. But that bank was started by Emma Chappell. This lady's life and legacy is phenomenal. I mean, just the stuff that she has done from the bank to being a vice president of Continental. Many of y'all might have forgotten what Continental Bank was, but Continental preceded PNC Bank here
Yep.
in the city. And so, again, she was a VP in the 70s, y'all. So to be
Yeah.
a VP in the 70s, that's major. But what I found interesting about her life was that she went to church with Reverend Leon Sullivan.
Yep. Leon Sullivan was her original like supporter. Like he put her in position, and
Yep.
she went and took it full advantage of every position she was put in.
So y'all just gonna steal all the points right now before we can even have this conversation.
Oh,
That's what y'all gonna do.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. So, but again, we wanted to talk about this, right? Because a lot of times we don't get a chance to give people their flowers while they're living.
Correct.
However, even if we miss that opportunity, we should not miss the opportunity to make sure that their legacy is known, and we reflect on that legacy and look to that legacy and see if there are gems that we can pull and use for us as we're creating our legacies going forward. So our ancestors' legacy should live forward through us, in my opinion. What do y'all feel about that?
wait, Jim. I don't want to steal all the points.
No. No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother. I know you love talking on this. So go ahead.
Yeah, no. I really love the fact that she put black people first in whatever she was doing. And when you find people, when you find especially our ancestors, she, a lot of people might have a problem with the institution, but you can't have a problem with what she was trying to do with the institution, which was to bring, something that we lack in our communities, which are banks, to the people. A chance to be able to fund all of those dreams that we talk about. And so, she used the same methods as Reverend Leon Sullivan, and because they were so tight, and both of those people are icons. To me, like I said, second behind Garvey, I think the Reverend Leon Sullivan for black people, that in far building businesses, is only second to the honorable Marcus Josiah Garvey. So when you talk about that, and then look at his progeny, Miss Chappell, you gotta say, you know, that living. You talking about legacy, right? That's what legacy is. To have people, he built sideways and he built uh downward as far as generations is concerned. So, congratulations,
Messiah, to make sure we pronounce the ancestor's name right, not just
right,
Messiah. But anyway,
Messiah.
I want to say this, Kamar. You made an excellent point when you talk about how they lived through us. And I've been showing this book on the show for like the last whatever. Everybody go get this book if you can. Leon Sullivan, right? Because you talk about how they lived through us. That's a representation of that. When you talk about her attending his church at the age of 9, all the way up, and until recently, she attended his church, but she learned under him in terms of what he did, and she used that same skill set to build the bank. You talk about how she got the money for the bank. That's what's powerful. When she was given a goal, hey, get this amount of capital in order to start a bank, and you get that goal, and the powers that be say it's not enough. She went back, got more. It's not enough. Then she went back and got more, and she got more than they asked. Like, let's keep playing this game. But she was able to raise capital in small amounts from the neighborhood, from the people. She actually got it from the people. Power to the people, as they say. And that's kind of what the 1036 plan was. And she kind of executed that in a different way to create a bank. But like you said, now what's the next step?
Right.
What's the next step after that? Because she built on what he did, and now we're at the next step after that. So I think it's powerful. Her story and his story are connected. I kind of had a personal relationship. She was close friends with my grandparents. So I've sat down with her, had dinner with her, things like that. So it's a little personal relationship. I mean, I didn't know her personally. She was friends of the family. Let's put it that way. But she was always about the community. Always about the community. So when we talked earlier about what's going on with the institution of down north, it was the same thing. So on one hand, you can say we're late to the party, but the ancestors weren't late to that party, right? You talk about a Marcus Messiah Garvey. You talk about an Elijah Muhammad. You talk about some of the people that have done things. We're not late to the party. Maybe as a mass, we're late to the party, but we have ancestors that understood that those things are connected and have executed. All of us have execute better.
And that's fair, Jimmy. And I didn't mean late to the party as in everybody. I was kind of talking about in this microcosm that we talk about wealth creation.
Got you.
I mean, but again, your point's solid, right? Because if I'm saying we're late to the party, right, because this is me being accountable, that's actually discrediting our ancestors, and we should never discredit our ancestors.
Never.
So, thank you for that correction.
Yeah, not a problem.
But look what I got.
My guy got it. We out here. And by the way,
So,
Corey
I haven't finished it. I haven't finished it. But what I've gotten from it, I haven't finished it. From what I got is powerful. We actually should do a whole show on this.
Man.
Yeah, I know you talked about
it. This right here sits next to Powernomics on my favorite books list. And by the way, I got my brother Corey one right here. It's packaged up. I didn't say meet up with him to give it to him yet. So let him know that he got it. He got it too.
Yeah,
so
man.
We out here.
Out here.
But this book sits next to Powernomics in terms of influence and impact, and also economics, right? Because I mean, listen, man.
He did it. A lot of people talk about it. He did it.
And that's the thing. The institute, actually, the piece that he put together within our city is still there.
It's all there. Progress Plaza is still there.
And look at it. Now, the OIC as in general, but let's say that for his show. It's not about him per se.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to bring it back to our ancestor, Mrs. Chappell. So her legacy lives on. Her institution still exists. And like Corey said, no matter what we feel about the institution as it stands today, that's a symbol. It's a symbol of something. It's a symbol of when you work together, you can do something. You can actually do something, right? A lot of times we live in our little vacuum and we don't recognize the power we have if we work with others. So I know a lot of what we do with the Black Wealth Project, and even with us by the Hood, is all about collaboration. The reason all of us are sitting here today having this show is because we decided, hey, we're all on the same wavelength. Let's create a show together. And the power of community that's her legacy. She executed, right? A lot of people don't execute. Leon Sullivan executed. Marcus Garvey executed. regardless of what the final outcome was, they showed that it's possible, right? I mean, there's some folks who I could say right now executed, but their name is mud, so I'm gonna leave it alone in more recent history. But it's proof positive that we can come together to get something done. I just want to put that out there.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. But let's take a quick moment and go through some things. Tracy, what did you have on this?
Dr. Chappell was very integral in a lot of my relationships surrounding some of my God family, my church family, and a lot of my Marion Tasco and Augusta Clark family. She was someone that people raved about and was a pillar in the community, not only just for, like, the article that we were looking at did state she truly did financial ministry. It was something that she was devoted to, that she took seriously, and it's that level of dedication that you don't see as much today, where people are literally willing to do whatever. And the article was absolutely correct. She would get out of her bed. People could call on her. She was the one frying chicken and passing out leaflets, helping people to understand and getting them out to vote, and helping them understand that we need to keep our money in the community, and we need to buy black, and we need to put and band our money together. She definitely was someone that was very integral in a lot of the political relationships that were also faith-based in this community. And I think as a Black woman, her presence was necessary, and we need more. We need more like her. We need more to follow in her footsteps, and more to be able to not only execute her work, but also be able to execute work like hers that was very much ministry like.
Now, Tracy, that's an interesting term. You said financial ministry. Like, when you think of financial ministry, what do you think of? Like, what does that look like in your opinion?
So, to me, in the financial ministry, the conversation is, I am so consumed with making sure that you understand these principles that I'm going to sow them into you. And I'm going to sow them into you so that when you connect with them, you understand them. And I am also a resource in the event that you misstep or you misunderstand what these principles are, so I can be here to reinforce them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's powerful because, again, there's a lot of people nowadays acting like they have a financial ministry. But I don't know if it's really a financial ministry in the way that you are depicting it. Getting out of bed in the middle of the night. I've heard that from a lot of people that knew her. I had some family members that were very tight with her as well. But I don't know if that really exists anymore. For the majority, right? I know many of us, people say we have financial ministries, and I know we definitely do, but I'm talking about the large scale of things. I don't know if that really exists anymore. And that, again, is just a testament to the power and the dedication that she had to the community.
Agreed.
Now, I wanted to look at something real quick again and just kind of go through the article because there's some things in there I thought that were really, really interesting. One of the things was that she started United Bank in 1992. Again, it said that there was no other Black-owned bank, no other Black-owned charter bank that had been created since 1903 from Maggie Lena Walker in Richmond, Virginia. Now, if anybody knows, that's St. Luke's Penny Savers Bank. So these Black women are out here doing the damn thing, y'all.
They've been doing it, and they still doing it.
Right. And I mean, I find it interesting that the sisters have always been at the forefront of what we need in our community as warriors, as fighters. And a lot of times they don't get the necessary credit that they
They don't
get.
get the love, man. They
Yeah,
they they they
Amen.
put a patriarchal figurehead on top of it, and
Correct.
that gets the credit for the work that the community has done. You know, I mean these men are doing great work, but there's no movement without the leader. It just doesn't happen, right?
Amen.
Every movement. Listen, we have to, you know, uh, if when black people come together, the people who really put it all together, who are the glue to everything, are the black women. The black men
Hmm.
might get up there and make the speeches and do all of the other, but the people who hold it together, who glue it together, are always women. There's no black organization that has happened in the past century where women were not the glue.
and
Not
so
one.
I'm gonna go out on a ledge and say this as I say it all the time because I see sisters a lot of times, and this is not a gender war between black men and black women, but black women have always been leaders in our communities, even before we were in this country. Even when the men went out to war, who do you think held it down? It was the women, it was the sisters. It's still the same now, but we have more challenges that are facing us from a more systemic standpoint. But I think if we really recognize what the real order is and not what this Eurocentric, misogynistic fake order that we have been taught to adopt is, I think there's power in that. I think there's real power in that.
Crazy part is like, and for the folks that may have never heard of Maculini Walker, I think it was Forbes or Fortune. One of them did a write up and told her story a couple of years ago, but she was crazy. Listen, built a bank. She was the daughter of a slave, right? And she did this in their territory at a time. You're talking about peak Jim Crow. She had her own bank, and she actually said that patronizing white banks, you're contributing to racism. She felt like not supporting black businesses, you're contributing to racism. Like she said that, like we're fools for not contributing to our not banking and doing business with our own.
And she was right then, and she's still right
She's
now.
still right. Yeah. She's still
Right.
110 years later, 115 years later, she's still correct.
But what's interesting to me is that we will defend doing business with non-black folks till we're blue in the face, and I find it really, really sad.
But we don't defend doing business with our own, right? We won't defend that side of it. So,
Right.
but for
Correct.
those who don't, just do your Googles, look up Maggie Laney Walker as another ancestor whose name just come up because they're part of this conversation. She was dope too.
Absolutely. Now I want to keep going through some of this article because again, some of these works need to be talked about. Okay, so again, I talked about this a little bit earlier that she was the vice president. She was the first African American or the first black vice president in Continental Bank. And so again, if you don't know what Continental Bank is, Continental Bank preceded PNC Bank. Many of you were probably more familiar with PNC Bank, which is still around these days. All right, but she also did another program called Model Cities in 1974. Y'all, listen, this work is over 45 years old, 46 years old. Now, Model Cities ultimately turned into the Philadelphia Citywide Development Corporation. Now, this is what's G, or another thing that's G, right? Because it's all G. In 1984, she was the treasurer for Reverend Jesse Jackson's presidential campaign.
Yeah, I had no idea about this part.
So
no idea.
that's a national campaign, y'all. That's not
Yes,
just
it is.
local base. And the reason why I say that is because I've been treasurer for some local elected officials. To go to national, I can't even fathom it, right? I can't even fathom how you're collecting from 50 different states, various cities, various territories, coordinating all that. That's a whole other level.
Hey man, you still our favorite local DJ.
This is all right. This is all right. And she also worked with Rainbow Coalition and Push. So I mean, she's done a lot, y'all. I challenge all of you to take some time, do some research, look into her background, look into the work that she's done, and look into the legacy. Because the legacy is in what people say about you when you're not here. And this didn't just hit the news here in Philadelphia. It is some national channels as well. So, there's work there. We got to celebrate that. And we have to keep these names alive. We got to keep these names alive.
Yep.
So Malik, any thoughts on this? It looks like
I just think about the audacity, like to think that you're like, you know what? I'm gonna start a bank.
Yes, Lord.
Like, I'm gonna start a bank. Like right now, I'm like, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna call a few of my people up. I'm gonna figure it out. Folks want to support me. I'm gonna start a bank. Like what kind of audacity does that take, and kind of confidence that you could actually, like, it's one thing like, I'm gonna do it and never do it like you can, but to like do it, it's people don't realize the
level of
momentum that it takes. Like for you to even start the process to get the paperwork, and then and she didn't get discouraged when they kept moving the football on her, the goalpost. Raise $3 million. Okay, no, you need $5 million now, and her to keep going. I probably like some water. My bad. No, don't try.
No,
stick to itiveness. Like she's about this. The execution, man. That's that execution that I'm talking about, man. A lot of us have ideas and we talk about things, but to actually execute, and that's why
at that high level. It's not just execution. That's high level execution.
High level.
Correct.
And so, what I've been thinking about a lot lately, right? Jimmy brought up this, right? He brought up Bill Brother Bill by Leon Sullivan. You look at the work that Reverend Leon Sullivan did with his 1036 plan, right? If you look at this, right, why should white guys have all the fun?
Another classic.
About Reginald Lewis, right? So what's really interesting about all these people is that they didn't let society's definition of black define them, right? So Reginald Lewis went to Harvard in 1965, right? And so that was towards the end. Basically, that marked the end of the civil rights era. However, there was still a lot of craziness going on, and so this guy went to Harvard for free because he was about his business. He was serious. He did do some other shenanigans too, right? He's still a human being, but then through all that, his seriousness, he was able to do one of the first $1 billion deals.
Hey, listen, man, you got the books that shape me right there. You got Powernomics, you got the trifecta. You got all them right there.
Yeah, and I would say Message to the Black Man too, but
we can get into the book though. I can give you about 10 of them, but I'm just saying that's a great point. But that's also part of Emma's story, which is crazy, is because that goes back to that execution, because she would speak on issues. She understood racism. She understood white supremacy, and she would speak on it. But even though she spoke on it, she didn't like stand in the mud and spoke on it. She was like, "These things are going on, but I'm gonna go do this." Like, I acknowledge that this exists, but I got work to do. I'm gonna do the work.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
gonna do the work.
And Jim, that was my point of actually bringing all these together, because it's been on my mind that, again, black is beautiful, black is powerful, but if we stick to the molding and the definitions of what mass society says of us, we get stuck in the mud. These pioneers, these ancestors didn't do that. And so again, going back to Miss Chappell, Dr. Chappell, as Tracy corrected us.
Dr. Chappell, yes, Lord. Come on.
There's something to that. There's really something to that. We are greater than any definition that society puts on us. And I think it's important that we really do that. But again, Jimmy, to you and Corey, I mean, we all talk about it, but I think y'all talk about it the most. That black love piece is so essential.
That's how it got done.
Right.
That's how it got done. Because we talk about liking each other and loving each other, but they actually execute. Like, that's how all of these organizations got built, because the people, they loved each other enough not to worry about perfect things, right? We looking for perfection. We living in an era where people got to be perfect, right? I've written 25 posts about how Dr. King and Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey and all of our great ancestors could not have survived in 2020, in 2021, 2019, 2018. And it's because we looking for models of perfection instead of models of action. People that's actually putting in work and doing things. And we looking for perfect people. People not perfect. What are you doing? Or is your flaw a detriment to our mission? No. if these people's flaws are not a detriment to our mission, then we need to not let them be, but we need to focus on what they can do instead of what they can't. That
Right.
we spend a lot of time focusing on what people can't do or what people should do instead of what they're actually doing.
And special shout out to all the folks who were also our ancestors that contributed, because when she was raising capital, guess where she got it from?
She got
Those
correct.
little $5 and $10 and $20, $100. That's what made the bank, and those were our folks that she went to, who again, put their people first and understood what they were contributing to. So
the mission.
So she's a representation of just like a bunch of folks.
Yep.
Facts. And I mean, Corey, going back to you, I think all of us somehow, some kind of way, got the Messiah complex. Like we're looking for this one person to come deliver us.
Well, you know where we got that from.
Oh, I ain't trying to go there.
I'm just saying.
I know.
That's where it comes from.
But again, that's why you got to challenge the old adages and see if they really work for you today. But going back to what Jimmy was saying about the $5, the $10,
it all matters.
The church collection, all those things matter. And so our people have been crowdfunding way before crowdfunding was even a thing.
Man, listen, man. We got Creflo at Jet, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Right. Two of them.
I'm not in some gold falses, but we're not talking about that.
No, what I'm saying is
they thought they passed the deserve the jet.
What I'm saying is when we want to do something, we execute. So
So
we do.
Here's the question: what do we need to do now? What should we be focusing our attention, our money on today? A bank, another bank.
So if we're gonna build things, there's I don't agree with a lot of what Dr. Umar says, but the one thing that I do agree with that he says is that when we build in our communities, we build them back. We build our communities backwards. Churches, that's not necessarily the wrong thing to build around, but as far as economics is concerned, churches don't put enough of the money back into the community, not enough of it. And so he says build around schools, build around banks, and then build a hospital. And I agree with that 100%, because those are your economic foundation. Not that you can't have a church, and when you look at other ethnicities, they don't build their societies around that church. They use the church as part of what they do, and they don't build around the church as the focal.
I would disagree with that, Corey.
You better talk about.
No. It's not a church. It's not a church. If you look at the Jewish community, they build their communities around the synagogue. But
no, they build their.
Hear me out. But the synagogue is not just like a church.
Right.
It's a place to do business. It's a place to commune and fellowship. And again,
that's what he was saying. That's part of what he was talking about.
Right. But we do that in our church now, because I'm not trying to get into a church bashing session.
I'm not bashing the church. I'm saying
I'm not talking about you, Corey. I'm talking about what people might appear to feel that we're all.
All right. I mean,
So I just want to say, again, back to Dr. Chappell, is that she built the bank. What else should we be focusing on? And if
schools, schools, hospitals, take care of our own people with our medical professionals, and school, hospitals, and banks. The economic foundation, because all of the power comes from being able to say, we don't need you, we want you, we don't need you. That's what other communities, they build their power around that. So we talk about other communities. We talk about the Jewish community. We talk about the Chinese. Those people, they built their economic foundation first. They didn't build a relational foundation with the overall populace. They came together and they built the economic foundation first, and then they did all of those other.
But you know what? The one thing that all those folks have in common is all of their stuff is rooted in culture. So to me, they have more of a cultural foundation. So to me, to answer that question, I can't think about a specific structure. I think it's more about just building together in general. That could be a small investment group, and it grows and grows and grows. This is why I'm big on Black investment groups. As a matter of fact, the reason I was late to this, to our show today, is because I was on a line with one of my Black investment groups. because I think those things can take shape. I think what a bank means in 2021 is a little bit different. So
Right.
if you pull enough resources together, I mean, technically that's a bank, right? So I think that's the thing, is to start to build together and to build that trust, because again, it always goes back to Black love. But until we start to love each other and trust each other, it doesn't matter what specific entity we talk about. It's going to be a problem, whether it's a hospital, whether that's a school. So I think just to start to build together, even if it's on a small scale, and I don't think it has to be like a mass populace. It could be multiple investment groups. You know what I mean? Like me and Kamari had talked before about investment groups, and I'm like, let's do another. You don't have to be just in one. You could be in multiple groups.
Right.
But as a people, if we got 10 groups in Philly, 10 in Cleveland, 10 in LA, and everybody's building together,
So
I mean, that's how you start to see change, by working as a community.
listen, what we should cover one day is the Bridge Eco Village. You guys heard of them? The
I'm
Bridge.
sorry. Yeah, I heard of them, but I'm not.
Bridge, like,
The Bridge
That's-
Eco Village. These guys, they're building. They put the school in Harrisburg, and
Hold
they
up, Malik, what was it again? I didn't hear it.
it's called the Bridge Eco Village.
Okay, the Bridge Eco Village. Okay.
Right. They're building a live workspace for low to moderate income people, and they're building commercial on the bottom. There's apartments. There's also like a daycare. I don't know if they have another school attached to it, but they're putting this all in one space. Also, a jobs training center, computer labs,
this
and
is
they're
fire.
doing right, and they're doing it as a nonprofit out in Harrisburg. I think they just, if I'm not mistaken, they broke ground a few months ago on a school. They got all their approvals, but you should really go check that out. And like something like that, where that cooperative economics and education and work all take space right there.
Right.
And it's in a gentrifying part of Harrisburg. So now they're allowing people to stay right in this neighborhood that is changing. So definitely, anybody look up the Bridge Eco Village, and that's their model. They really are trying to repeat this model across the country. This is just the first one, because I think the guy, one of the partners, used to play football with Seattle. He actually played with LaShawn McCoy, and they both went to high school together around the same time period, I think. So we went to school too. And so it's Harrisburg is the first one, but they're looking to expand it into other markets. But they got a really good model of what they're trying to do.
And that's the thing. We need them all over the place. Like these investment groups. To me, that's what it is. It's about just working together. Once we start to build that trust, then we can scale up and we can do anything we want to. Now that we have the trust and we're working together and we know that we can accomplish things by working together. You know what I'm saying? Like we can move mountains, yo.
All right. Well, before we run out of time, let's check in back in with our
I think
folks.
that trust piece is really okay.
No, go ahead, Tracy.
No, you started to break up. That's all. That's why we
I
wait.
was going to say something.
But go ahead, Tracy.
Oh, okay. I was gonna just say I think the trust piece is really important. Okay, gotcha. I think the trust piece is really important because I think about not expecting perfection, because I do think that people don't realize that the notion of cooperative economics, the notion of us loving and trusting each other enough to do business with each other is really, really a new notion. So everybody expects it to be on the same level of some of these other businesses and relationships. And it's not. And we don't have the practice, we don't have the resources, and we don't have a lot of things that would make it seem perfect. So we are going to have to go through lumps and bumps with our brothers and sisters. We're going to have to work out kinks with our brothers and sisters. And everybody's got to be able to be patient enough to trust that process.
Ooh.
What you just said was everything, bro. Like, because listen, what you just said is literally what I was just going through before I got on here. So it resonated with me in a different way. Because to Corey's point, we expect perfection, but it's really about that journey, that process, right? So a lot of times people will they see the end result, and they get upset at the end result, but they don't see the work that goes in before you get to that end result. You know what I mean? Like people will comment on some of the things that even on the personal level that Corey and I got, like, oh man, you guys got all that. Yo, we've been putting this together for years. right?
Right.
And it's been ups and downs. Now things are scaling up, but we've been putting this work in for years, and we have to be patient with each other. We have to be understanding of each other because again, we're playing from behind. Like let's use a sports analogy, we're playing from behind, but
Yep.
we're focused on the execution to bring it back home. To the ancestor Emma Chappell. We know all these problems exist, but we are going to do the work the same way she did.
Yep.
Facts. All right, let's jump back into some of these comments. Don't want to keep folks here too long tonight, y'all. All right, while we're doing this, everybody remember this is the Black Wealth Project. We do this every Sunday. Right, I know all of y'all know, but listen, share this out with a friend, share this out with a colleague, share this out with somebody who actually cares about the Black community and the wealth that we're able to create. All right, so let's jump in. I don't think I properly acknowledged Queen Monica, but hey, Queen, how are you? Happy Sunday. Okay, Adrian said don't show up to my door unless you want to be my friend, Smith and Wesson. None of this.
Head nods on.
Yeah. All right, no problem. It was good. Okay. All right, Elizabeth's talking about the webinar Courtney and I did. No problem. It was good information. I'm sharing those tips and tricks with those who can't afford you all yet. All right. What do y'all think of Kanye was sitting that $6 billion?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
I think it's foul for him to put that out while he's in the middle of a divorce. But,
Yeah.
Monica. Right. All she needs is that big hat, right? So
No, she need the rope. She need the flower too. You can't.
I can't.
She out here looking like Pastor Greenleaf.
Thank you, Jose. I appreciate you, Jose.
And
Right.
Hey, Don. Thank you.
Who pressed
Right?
It was a photo shoot,
sharp.
Liz. It was a photo shoot, but I appreciate you.
Sharp.
Looking amazing, yo.
Elizabeth gives
Yes.
shout out to Blake's mom. All right.
Fresh.
The original Two-Comma Carter.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can still make impact and still make money. You can do well and do good all at the same time.
That's
Yep.
Yes, sir.
People need to understand that. But again, it all comes down to your intentions. And sadly, a lot of us have not been rooted with strong, I'll say, Black historical history, knowledge, and education. So it's hard for some of us. So
Listen, a lot of people who made money don't think that's important.
right.
They don't think that's important.
Yeah.
And so that's how we end up in the situations we end up in. They don't think that's important.
And they don't understand having a power base is everything, right? Them folks will yank that from you, and then you looking. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you looking like Tiger Woods out here.
But no. I mean,
Tiger.
let's talk about that real quick, right? Emma Chappell battled that. She dealt with that. They who said it? I think it was Malik. They moved the goalpost every time they said it for.
Mm-hmm.
So, the better we understand this thing, that we can unite and we can be a group and grow team, we can move a lot faster.
But guess what? She understood. She understood cooperative. So guess what? When they moved the goalpost, she went right back to them people.
Right.
That's why we gotta make sure we salute all the folks, because, like I said, she's a representation of a body of people,
of hundreds and thousands of people,
of people within our city that understood the importance of what it is she was doing.
Absolutely.
Correct.
All right. So Agent says, I think all of our Black-owned banks in Chicago are gone. Seaway was the last one. I believe it reopened, but not with Black owners. That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Elizabeth, check her out. Check her out. Example of power of the Black woman looking no further than Black Panthers. Yeah.
Say it again.
But they didn't get their props either, and they talked about that too. But you are correct. Let me say that I appreciate the love and respect from the men on the panel for what Black women have done and do for the community. I can't tell you the number of platforms where Black women are trashed and accused of being used by white men to destroy the power of Black men. Yes, you read that correctly. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for saying it.
And I mean, listen,
Awesome,
some of that is true, but you got to put it in context. At the end of the day, it's like if a brother and sister fight somebody else. Well, yeah, something might have happened, but at the end of the day, they still family. And
and listen, there are agents of both sexes. So we're not going to say it doesn't happen, but it doesn't. That's not the primary thing that happens.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, we still got to come back and recognize that we're family. And so,
and I think it's important to understand that folks have to be village minded to even understand that concept, because a lot of people don't understand the concept of family because they don't really truly have family.
They got relatives. They got relatives.
You brought up a topic, Trace. What is village minded?
Village minded is the thought process of an ecosystem within your network, in your relationships, that all pretty much feed each other in a reciprocity format. So you got a role, I got a role, but I'm all here to take care of the goal that we have as a village. So if you need to do something, I'm going to let you do it because this is a part of your role in the village. But if you sidestep or you misstep or there's something you miss, I can step in to help make sure that you're level grounded to continue on with your role. But I love you. I want you to do well. I support you. I appreciate you. And I respect the role that you play within the village.
Oh, that's the word. Respect.
Yeah. And
because a lot of people don't respect roles.
Absolutely. But listen, y'all, I'm trying to buy entry into Tracy's Village, so can everybody send me $1? I know I'm going to need a whole lot more than that. Though.
Listen, y'all are already in my village. Listen, I echo what Adrian said. Like I one of the reasons why I do love this show is that I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you guys as Black men who definitely big up, support, celebrate, and give flowers to Black women in the spaces of which it's appropriate. Because a lot of people aren't really speaking up to say, you know what, that was a good win, but we could not have done that without this Black woman.
Right.
Yeah.
We trying. We got good villages behind us.
Man.
So
yeah, how about that?
That's right.
Well, thank you, Adrian. We appreciate you, Adrian.
All right. So Chandler Will said, Emma put my check cashing places out of business and taught me that unbanked how to keep more of their money. Those places were charging 2% to underpaid.
Brown. So yeah, she put a lot of check cashing places out of business because she was helping the people to cash their checks at the United Bank instead of having to go to these check cashing places.
Right.
Yeah, she made that a thing. And shout out to Chandler who does his work in Philly too on the real estate side. But listen, that was one of her things, like to get those folks from going to the check cashing and come over here. Like I remember them having like campaigns out in the West Philly branch specifically about that.
Yep.
All right. So Elizabeth says, Kamari, unfortunately, the powers that be keep putting Black men and women against each other because we are so over focused on who's in charge and not on what we can accomplish by playing the roles we can best operate in.
Her and Tracy are right at the same spot.
Yep. And but we got to be careful, right? Because that's all ego. And a lot of us can succumb to ego, but we also have to be very, very critical and analytical when we look at ego and the promotion of it. Ego is promoted first and foremost in American individualism. And so if you about this Black work, you really have to reject Americanized individualism. But that's a whole other conversation. I don't
want to be in charge. I just want to get it done.
Right.
Yeah, I don't care who in charge.
I don't care.
What's the mission? Like I'm military. What's the mission? What do we need to accomplish?
Right. Model cities was a part of Lyndon Johnson's war on poverty. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Says, the Black churches should be a coalition regardless of denomination and put all their money together in one financial institution where they have board members in place. I actually talked about that in my piece I did a few years ago called the Creating Black Wealth. The problem with the Black church, and again, not doubting Black church, but there's so many different denominations and sections of it. But yeah.
Gary Gilliam is the name of the dude from out there. When you were talking about with Shady McCoy.
Harrisburg.
Oh, Gary Gilliam. Okay.
His name is Gary Gilliam.
Okay, he's a alum of the
Milton Hershey.
Awesome.
Kanye has a prenup. Kim actually doesn't get anything. Okay.
Okay, he lives with the fact check.
Yeah.
Liz is like super nerd. I'm here for it.
But she got like 3 kids. She got 3 kids though.
I'm pretty sure Kim cool though. Kim got her own bread.
Yeah, Kim got bread.
They made a pact not to sue each other because they're owners in each other's businesses. So there's no reason for them to sue each other. Kim is getting paid too.
Right.
Correct.
So Elizabeth said, if we stop glorifying putting these white people have accomplished above ourselves and focus on building ourselves, we couldn't have to struggle as we do.
Yeah.
I agree.
Facts.
Facts.
Crazy part is we got so many amazing stories to just like told. Like we got so many like powerful stories, but you know.
Yeah, there are. And sadly, a lot of things don't bubble up like the and this is no diss to anybody, right? But the Kanye story is bubbling up, right? And I believe they kind of coordinated that because the $6 billion and the divorce and everything else, I don't think they're above that. But we have to. It's our job to create our own media and to highlight the people who are most impactful and beneficial to us as a people and as a community. So.
I saw a lot of people saying, "Is Kanye still crazy?" And I'm like, "Yo, his mental health has nothing to do with how much money he had." I know a lot of rich people that off themselves, so it doesn't like. I'm worried about him. You know what I mean? Being around that family for all them years and being in the limelight and not having his mother, and, like all of those are mental health things that
Mental health
and trauma things that don't have anything to do with his bag. Like
Correct.
I'm worried about him. You know what I mean? Like people not worried about the individual because he got a big bag. Congratulations on the big bag, Kanye. I hope you do whatever it is you want to do with that big gigantic bag. But I want you to be okay. Like people don't care about like just because he got money, he not suffering from mental damage, and he's not suffering from the things that humans suffer from. He don't his family breaking up. He got 3 kids and he not with his wife no more. That's traumatic. Like I'm worried about the man. Y'all worried about the bag. I'm worried about the man.
Right.
And he wasn't okay when he married Kim. He wasn't okay.
To be honest, I don't think Kanye was ever okay. But that just goes to the state of mental health in our community, and hopefully he really gets some real help because he clearly needs it. He said he needed it as much. And your poor Corey. I mean, you talk about rich folks, right? The dude that owned Texas Roadhouse just killed himself after he had COVID symptoms. And so, he had money, but that don't mean nothing.
Yeah, the money, whatever. I'm not getting into that because, being around a lot of mental health professionals constantly, because I work in special education. I talk a lot about this kind of stuff. We have to bring people to a point of wholeness where they enjoy themselves. Before we could talk about all of this other stuff that's going on, people have to be whole and enjoy themselves.
Listen, I knew that money didn't mean anything when Anthony Bourdain offed himself, just because.
Yeah, that's
I'm not jealous of nobody, but if anybody I would have been jealous, it would have been his life. Like I thought he had the perfect. I said my man gets paid to travel to these exotic places and eat these crazy dishes. Right. And this is what he does for a living. And then he offed himself. He was wealthy and offed himself, and when that's what you do, I'm like, yo. All right. Yeah. So if he can off himself, ain't nobody safe.
Nobody.
Right. Yep.
Nobody.
And so Adrian said, hell, he may divorce her and change for the better. So that could be true. That could be true.
I'll get him a black woman.
Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah. I think it might be too late for that one. But at either rate, y'all, listen, I appreciate you all being here. As we close out, we normally do our black icon of the week, but clearly Miss Emma Chappell is our black icon of the week. Anybody have any closing thoughts about Miss Chappell, her legacy, or anything else you think we should do based off inspiration of Miss Chappell?
We should try to bank black.
Bank black. You said
black.
Bank black.
Yeah. And if you don't know who she is, Google her.
Yeah, and listen, do your Googles on Dr. Chappell. Also look up Maggie Laney Walker and be like they were. Like, don't just talk about it. Take action. Find your tribe. And and build.
Facts. Well, listen, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you that are here. We have some big things coming up, y'all. We got some developments coming up, so we are moving in a direction so we can help provide even greater resources and provide greater value to you all who've been rocking with us and been loyal to us every week. Again, I'll ask that share us with anybody who's concerned about Black wealth, because I think anybody that's concerned about Black wealth will resonate with us in our story. So again, until next Saturday, 7 p.m., Black Wealth Project. Have a great weekend and a great week, everybody.
Bye.